The primary responsibility of any government is to give jobs to its youngsters. If a country cannot give jobs to its people have no future.
Hello, this week's focus on One Take is going to be on Kerala. Rahul Gandhi, he is a member of parliament from Wayanad, and if you go by the cyclical pattern, this time it should be the turn of the LDF or the Congress-led alliance to come to power there. I'm Pallavi Ghosh, but I'm going to ask you two questions this time round. One is Assam and also second on Kerala. And that's because the Gandhi siblings have been seen actively campaigning in both these states. Kerala, but naturally because Rahul Gandhi happens to be an MP from there, and a win for the Congress party then becomes even more critical to show that he has a political might within him. As far as Assam goes, I'm also going a little bit of focus over there because Priyanka Gandhi grabbed a lot of eyeballs because of her campaigning there as far as the tea gardens go. Now, what could be the political importance in case, one, in Kerala, the Congress party loses? Does it mean that the stock of Rahul Gandhi will come further down, not just at the national level of politics, but also within his party because he's at the threshold of the presidential elections being held in the state? On the other hand, in Assam, should the Congress party perform very well or even win the elections, will the clamour for Priyanka Gandhi to play a larger role within the Congress and not just restrict herself to Uttar Pradesh also increase? Let's keep the focus on Kerala. Now, in Kerala, the odds are not completely stacked favourably for the Congress party. And the reason is that anti-incumbency against Pinarayi Vijayan is still not so strong. His performance initially to control COVID cases, how he dealt with the floods in Kerala has also brought him a lot of appreciation. On the other hand, the BJP could act as a spoiler as far as Rahul Gandhi and the Congress party is concerned. In Kerala, the Congress is deeply divided. There are several camps over there. And the fact that you see the Organizational General Secretary K.C. Venugopal, who also happens to be from Kerala, by the side of Rahul Gandhi is not making many of his Congress colleagues happy from the state. They worry that should the Congress party come to power, will K.C. Venugopal be the chosen one? And what about Ramesh Chennithala as well as Umang Chandi, who's been the last chief minister from the state? It is these calculations and these apprehensions which perhaps could work against the Congress party because they are certainly not seeming like a united house. But what if the UDF loses in Kerala? One, huge blow to Rahul Gandhi because he's a member of parliament from the state. What happens is that after a loss in Amethi, where he was questioned that the fact that Gandhi has lost from their family bastion, the focus will shift to Kerala. That means he's going to be seen as a political non-starter. He could not even develop in his newly adopted state. You've been seeing pictures which have gone viral of Rahul Gandhi, both from Tamil Nadu and Kerala, where obviously he's trying to woo the youth, for example, going to schools and colleges, also diving into the sea. All of that may grab and may go viral on the internet, but will they actually get votes for the Congress party? That's the question. Now, if they lose out, apart from what it does to the Congress party in the state and to Rahul Gandhi, remember, we are also on the threshold of presidential elections in the state. There is a group within the Congress party, and I'm not only talking about a group of 23, but many of those who are silent, who wonder whether Rahul Gandhi as president can deliver. Should the Congress party lose in the home state, so to say, of Rahul Gandhi, can he then lay claim to becoming the president of the party? There are going to be important elections, for example, in 2024, the Lok Sabha elections. Can he be then the leader of the Congress party? So a lot of political future of Rahul Gandhi rests from where the performance of his party is from the southern state or the God's own country. Will the God be by the side of Rahul Gandhi? Let's shift focus quickly to Assam as well. And why I'm talking about Assam is because Priyanka Gandhi visited the tea gardens, plucking the tea leaves, going to the family of the tea planters, has got a lot of eyeballs. Her running there, dressed in the Assamese Meghla Chador, all of that has got a lot of traction. Will that be enough to translate into votes? Because let's not forget that BJP is a very powerful and aggressive opponent. But let's, for argument's sake, the Congress party does very well in Assam. In fact, going to the extent of actually winning in the state, will that put up the stature of Priyanka Gandhi Vadra? Remember, every time the Congress has failed to deliver in states, especially at a time when Rahul Gandhi was a party president, this question was often raised. is that why him and why not Priyanka Gandhi Vadra? She has the charisma, she is considered to be politically savvy, perhaps very acceptable. And there are many who argue that perhaps the only one who can take on the Modi factor is another woman. And in that sense, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra may be able to do that magic or weave that magic for the party. Now, what happens is, if the Congress party, say, loses in Kerala, wins in Assam, then this Priyanka versus Rahul Gandhi debate is likely to be thrown up. For now, a large number of party workers are silent, but they may start opening up. There have been times, for example, in the past, where every time has Rahul Gandhi as a president or as a leader has failed to deliver, there actually have been some leaders who openly spoken about the fact that, while Rahul Gandhi is someone who may be a good person, but he perhaps may not be an astute politician, and therefore Priyanka Gandhi Vadra as a party president is a better choice. Those clamours may start becoming more and more vocal. It's also a given fact that in Assam, at least, the Congress party seems to be putting up a very, very tough fight. And a lot of that credit will, of course, be given to Priyanka Gandhi Vadra. I have been asking this question on the social media space. I've been getting a lot of mixed reactions. Many of them say that Rahul or Priyanka doesn't really make a difference. But many of them say that at least in terms of perception, Priyanka Gandhi Vadra seems more aggressive. If you saw in the case of Hathras, in other case of rape incidents in Uttar Pradesh, she was out on the streets. She knows how to play to a camera. Many in the Congress party argue that perhaps she's the best one to be able to take on the Prime Minister as far as the optics are concerned. We are going to be watching this space. We are going to be seeing what the results are going to be out on 2nd of May. But certainly a win in Kerala is absolutely a must for Rahul Gandhi's political future and his politics. In case the Congress loses there, I don't even have to tell you how the BJP is going to react. They're going to call him as a political non-starter who couldn't even deliver in a state which sees a cyclical pattern and a state which he has adopted. His talk within the party, of course, and his talk within national level politics is also likely to die down. Do give in your reactions. That's enough for now this week. We're going to come up with more information, more masala, more entertainment, and of course, more arguments and discussions next week on One Take.